como de sistema para una persona puede conseguir los micas?
Ahí en toda la 26 son como unos 20.
Es mucho dinero. Y ellos necesitan pagar un impuesto por los gangas también,
Sí,
¿no?
le pagan a los Lion Kings ahí de la 26.
If you're selling IDs micas on the street, you're paying a tax to Latin Kings. They pay the gangs so that they have no issues on the street and nobody tells anybody anything and everything's safe.
Fake green cards, driver's licenses, and social security cards. It's a market cornered by the gangs of Little Village on Chicago's southwest side. Criminal Intelligence Unit investigator Mike Davis is on the trail of one ID ring in particular. As he gathers intel from a jailhouse informant, Davis launches a sting operation with the Cook County Sheriff's Vice Squad that same week. They'll use street informants in order to make contact with the ID ring.
¿Sabes cuál es el local o no? Seguro es 31 y... Maybe we can do a loose tail on him.
That's what I'm thinking.
He said, found me. He said same thing we're saying right now. Yeah, okay. Okay, yo creo que nosotros podemos sigarte.
Right now, we're probably about a mile away from the jail. It's a straight shot. It's 26th Street. Yeah, Bill, he talked to the guy on the phone, so now we're headed there. We're almost in front of that location.
Davis and Commander Mike Anton stake out a block frequented by phony ID vendors.
They're sitting on the spot, huh?
Yeah, they are. This him right here? The one? Yeah.
While an informant negotiates a deal with their target.
He's talking to a guy right now, Bill. That's heavy set, probably about 5'8". Looks like he's maybe about 220. Got blue shorts on, white shoes.
Can you get photos of the guy?
10-4.
Their goal, to make multiple purchases and build a conspiracy case.
There's a lot of money being made there, and what's that funded? It's not like, well, that money's only going to go towards more fake IDs. It's going to go to other nefarious things that they're doing.
In an hour and a half to 2 hours, you're getting a green card and you're getting a license. Looking at a real license, looking at the fake one that we purchased, you could not tell the difference.
Who's going to dispute it, right? Look at the, it's got the hologram on it. The sleeve is good.
Yeah, it's real good.
The gang's money-making schemes don't end there. They're known to shake down local business owners as well.
The gangs are probably running many more legitimate businesses on that street. So, again, paying like a tax, so they won't incur any problems from any of the gang members.
I mean, this is something like out of, the 30s or 40s you'd see, like the Italian mafia run. Now it's the street gangs of Chicago. It's organized crime, essentially.
Some of these people are either intimidated or just fear them enough that they say, you know what, I just keep my mouth shut. All it is just a form of terrorism, because that's what these guys work off of, is fear and intimidation. And if I gotta work with a couple of them to try to slow them down, that's what I gotta do.
Gangs like the Latin Kings and the 2-6, which call Little Village home, can be notoriously difficult to infiltrate. That's why investigators at Cook County Jail try to flip key players when they're at their most vulnerable.
Yeah. We're picking up a detainee, active member of a street gang, hardcore. Recently has been stabbed up by opposition multiple times in the stomach. What we're going to try to do is get him to give us the information, hopefully, that can assist with some cases out in the streets. You okay? You look better. You look tough. The other day when I came to see you, nerve damage? How many times they stabbed you? What neighborhood? Were you in your neighborhood or oppositions?
Opposition.
Did you know him? So what were you doing? After you get stabbed, you laying on the ground?
Yeah, the first time I stabbed me, they got no circles. I was trying to breathe.
15. Why do you guys got so much beef with those guys for? Something personal?
This inmate, who we'll call Dante, faces a battery charge that could put him behind bars for several years. Like most detainees at County, he's still awaiting trial. He could cut a plea deal, but only if he cooperates with authorities first.
Your face was on here one time, you know that?
That's it, man.
You listening to me? Your face was right here. Problem child. Everyone top targets. Anybody that comes into the system, it's an Area 1 target. I'm gonna come and pay you a visit. Guess what gang war gets you? Stabbed up how many times? Left for dead. You think he's not gonna retaliate? What did he say? Whatever stays on the street, it's gonna be handled on the street. So you know already he ain't gonna tell me who did it. What's the war about? I mean, what is it? What do you guys commit all these crimes for?
All the gangs want our territory, but we just fight for what we think is right, which is, keep our neighborhood the way it is. It's just when other people come through and we have to use violent force, that's when stuff gets hectic.
What about his family? Don't you think of the families? Nothing?
That's not even in your head. To me, it's kind of like being in the military. You know how to brainwash you? But when you first hit land, basically when you first turn, they brainwash you not to care.
Is it a bragging right that a guy just went over across to the opposition and shot up their block and they come back and brag about it?
Pretty much, that's what they do.
I figured you're probably one of the number one guys that does that.
I'm one of the guys that trust that.
So is it fair to say this guy here is probably beat?
Yeah, he got bragging rights.
He got bragging rights?
He's bragging a lot.
Couple homicides under his belt?
He got a lot.
Couple?
He got a lot of everything.
Have you witnessed any of them? I can imagine you did. You just don't feel comfortable in telling me.
Yeah,
I mean, how important is it is to go home to your kids? How important do you really want to do it? Do you want to go in halfway or fully? Right now you're in iffy, right? You're quarter, because you still don't have no trust in me. And when you're sitting in here for a little bit of time, you're going to probably say, you know what, let me talk to do it again. Right now you're just feeling out the waters, but you can't feel out the waters because...
It's still a little shit. I'm waiting for it to get lukewarm. You say it like that.
Don't get found guilty, because then it's going to be too late, because I can't do nothing for you.
While Dante weighs his options, investigator Mike Davis continues to work with paid street informants on a long-term sting operation. He and the sheriff's vice squad are targeting a counterfeit ID ring.
Right now, we're just trying to identify the players and find out exactly where they're printing the IDs. Right there, right? Isn't that where they met? Last time.
1 week after making their first undercover deal, an informant helps them set up a second buy.
Whoever's got an eyeball, call out what's going on.
The more fake green cards, driver's licenses, and social security cards that they purchase, the stronger their case becomes.
No te preocupes. ¿Dónde está? ¿Tú quieres que nosotros conseguirte o vas a irte por tu casa?
But this is not the first time that authorities have tried taking down a Little Village ID ring.
Hace 2 años, cuando de policía grabé de Discount Mall, ¿estás viviendo en Chicago o no? ¿Te recuerdo este tiempo o no?
Sí.
¿Para cuánto tiempo está cerrado Los Micas?
¿Cómo?
Después de policía cerré de Discount Mall, ¿cuántos días después que las personas...
¿Empezaron a vender otra vez? Luego.
The same day. Yeah, the same day. So it didn't stop anything.
There's been numerous raids at that location, and to my knowledge, they're still up and running. And there's more spots, yeah. People are telling us all the time. We try to look into all of them, but it's difficult.
I know it got real hairy on the news here in the immigrant community. People were really angry that those businesses got shut down. It really didn't dissuade the community into thinking that anything really wrong was happening.
Yet Davis believes that people might feel differently if they knew the whole story.
How much coke did you get caught with?
132 kilos.
Outside of the Latin Kings, who else would you drop off to? This right here is a hub. I'm talking pounds and tons of drugs.
Little Village is a very hot spot for the entire Midwest.
What cartel were you working for?
I keep telling you, man, they'll dig up the grandma and kill her again. These guys don't mess around.